Welcome everyone to my guide to Destiny 2. This will be a guide for new, returning, and maybe even experienced players later on who have missed some of the things on the way through. Destiny is a very simple game when understood, but when you're first starting off, seeing how vast the game is, it can put you off instantly. I'm here to help you get over that feeling and be able to help you enjoy the amazing game that Destiny is. We're not going to talk too much about character selection. There are 3 classes in the game: the Titan, the Hunter, and the Warlock. If you have the base game, all characters have 3 subclasses. This is essentially the powers and abilities your character will have. This will affect your grenade, melee, super, and other things we'll get into later. If you have the Beyond Light DLC, you'll unlock a 4th subclass called Stasis when you complete the DLC, and same if you own Lightfall, you'll unlock a 5th subclass called Strand. My personal choice here, I will be starting off as Titan. However, I advise you to try out all 3 classes at some point, as they all have very different playstyles and each character is very different. If you really want to make sure you choose the right starting character, there are many videos out there that show the differences and their abilities. Another quick thing, there are 2 sides to Destiny 2, there is PvE and PvP. Some of you will know what that means. For the ones who don't, PvE is player versus environment and PvP is player versus player. This series and guide will mostly be a PvE guide, however, later on, to meet some requirements, we may have to dabble in PvP a little bit. I've chosen not to show cutscenes in the guide, however I will be posting a playthrough with no voiceover. If anybody struggles, you can follow that as you play through yourself, and that will include all the cutscenes. You can always feel free to skip them if you don't want anything spoiled. I think that's enough waffle, let's get into the game.
Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. It worked. You're alive. You don't know how long I've been looking for you. I'm a ghost. Actually, now I'm your ghost, and you? Well, you've been dead a long time. So you're going to see a lot of things you won't understand. This is fallen territory. We aren't safe here. I have to get you to the city. Hold still. Don't worry, I'm still with you. We need to move, fast.
Right, so as you guys just saw there in the mini introduction, our ghost has just revived us. I'll be honest, this mission is pretty simple, just follow through. It's essentially your basic tutorial where it will teach you most of the important controls for the game, like jumping, sprinting, crouching, etc. Just pay attention to the text and it will pop up at the bottom of your screen saying how to do each thing. One thing I did notice instantly was my sensitivity was super low. I upped this as soon as I could. You don't have to do this, this is entirely up to you. If you do wish to do it, just follow where I go in the settings and you'll see how to do it. Whether you want to update your sensitivity or not, just carry on through this mission, play through this fully, and then we'll catch up at the end, and I'll talk through some things that you should have, and things that you should have understood at the end of that mission.
Frayed wires and rust. Check. When I flip this switch, expect trouble. Not good. I'm definitely not happy to see us. There's a rifle. Grab it.
So when you get to this point, just a quick thing, you'll notice in a second I'll get a little pop-up. You should get the same when you hit this point. All it's asking you to do is open your inventory, go onto your super on your subclass, which you'll see or highlight it. You jump onto that, and then it's just asking you to hover above each thing. It takes a minute, so just bear with it. But all it's doing is highlighting each of the things: your grenade, your jump, your barricade, rift, or dodge, depending on your class, and then your grenade. You won't be able to swap anything else out here because you don't have anything unlocked, but later on you will be able to. It's just showing you it this early on so that you understand it. Right guys, so as I said, with that last mission there wasn't too much to mention there. Only thing that I can really think of is the subclass thing. You've got to go and highlight over them. That's the only thing really that might throw you off a tiny bit. So as you can see, when we finish that, we're going to have a little cutscene. We're going to automatically load into the next mission. All you're going to do, you're going to play through this the same way you played through the last mission. It's just going to load in automatically. You haven't got to worry about anything. Just follow it through. It's eventually going to lead you to where Shaw would be, but Shaw isn't there. He's out. He's going to ask you to go and get a source for the interference. So go and do that. This is a zone control thing, so you need to be stood in the circle in order for the percentage to go up. If you're miles away from it, this percentage will not go up, and you could spend 15 minutes sat here, not in the circle, not getting any progress. So make sure you're near the device for this percentage to go up.
Stolen city tech has been spliced in here. That's scrambling your stands. All on camera just tinkering with old scrap. They're certainly still heavy. This will take a minute to fix.
Hold them off while I work on this.
Right guys, so the next thing I saw worth mentioning was this servitor here. When you drop down these, they drop these little orbs. Arc charges they're called. All you have to do with these arc charges is go and deposit them here. But it doesn't really tell you to do that, so I just thought I'd let you quickly know so that you don't get too confused there. Upon completing this second mission, you'll see we got a quest update. We're going to simply pull out our ghost, and it's going to tell us to open our director. We're going to hold that button down and open that up. We're going to go to the left once into this quest tab. Once we're here, you'll see we have our Guardian Rises quests, which is the quest where we're following Shorhan. And then we'll have the Learning Light quest. The Learning Light quest is a side quest where we're going to help develop our abilities and unlock new things. You may have noticed things called aspects and fragments. This is going to help us unlock and develop them. The other quest is simply just the story that we are following for now. So we're going to be following a bit of both as we continue further into the game. Here you can see upon completing that second mission, we're going to get this fast travel pop up. You will not be able to leave this room. I remember my first time playing this game, I spent about 5 minutes running around this room trying to get out. You can't leave this room, everything is shut. You have to open up your director, you have to fast travel. That's the only way you get out. So pull out your ghost, load up your map, go to the landing zone, hold A to fast travel, and then the quest, I believe, asks you to speak with Shaw. As you can see here, we're going to speak with Shaw, we're going to get a little upgrade. I don't know if the reward's the same for everyone. I think it is, so we'll all get the sniper here. Anybody who does have any pre-order bonus items, all your DLC related stuff, well not all of it, but most of it will be here with Shaw. I just wanted to put this in because, as you can see, I get given an exotic weapon here, and people see that and be like, how on earth did you get that? So that's there, that's how I've got that. If you're a new player, you probably don't have these pre-order bonuses, but returning players, you may have this. Go and check with Shaw, see what he's got for you. Watching this back, guys, there's one thing I forgot to say there. You'll notice at the end, I picked up a quest called Another Last City. This is for a weapon called Arbalist. I believe this quest is free to everyone. I could be wrong. Just see if you can pick it up. If you can, over time, we're going to do this quest. As you can see, the first step is literally kill 100 targets. So we're going to do this over time. If you can pick it up, pick it up. If you can't, don't worry about it. You'll get the gun later on down the line. The next thing we're going to do, as you guys can see in the background here in the gameplay, we're going to head straight over to this Destiny 2 logo beacon. This is going to be the other quest we picked up, not the one for sure, the one called Learning Light. We're going to drop down here and we're going to meditate. We're going to prioritize doing this before the other quest because this is going to help us develop our abilities and this is going to make the other missions much easier. This is going to give us the aspects and fragments that we really want. Keep in mind, your version of this mission could be slightly different to mine if you're on other characters. Obviously, I'm developing my Titan Arc Super. If you're Warlock, you might be Solar or Void, and if you're Hunter, you might be Solar or Void. I can't remember which one's which, but depending on your character, you will all have different subclasses. One will be Arc, one will be Solar, and one will be Void. So eventually we're going to load into this mission called Refracted Lesson. We're going to follow through this. As you can see, it's going to tell you to meditate at certain points. You're going to pick up these aspects. As you can see here, we get knockout. So it's going to ask us to go into our inventory and equip it. As soon as you've done this once for one aspect, you're going to understand how to do the rest. So as you can see, it's just this same system as earlier when it showed us how to do our grenade, melee and everything else. So we're just going to continue to follow and play through this mission. And I'll catch up with you guys at the end. So as you can see here guys, quick thing, as we were going through this mission, we updated our another last city quest step. So we got the next step, which was defeat combatants using your abilities or super. Now considering this mission is giving us this Traveller's Favour buff, where you are constantly getting abilities and supers, this is really good to have this quest for this mission, because we can fly through it. So as you guys can see, as we finish this mission, we're going to jump up and backtrack on ourselves. We're going to start heading back towards Shorehand. But on the way back, we want to start killing all the Fallen to pick up the Fallen data scraps for the quest for Shore. When you finally got all these data scraps, head back to Shore for both quests and we'll be able to hand both in at the same time and either complete it or get the next step. Right, so upon completing these two quests and handing them in, we're going to get a set of blue gear, we're going to get the Night Watch legendary weapon, and we're going to get Maeve's key. So we've just got our first legendary weapon, and this key is going to get us our first exotic weapon. As you can see, upon opening this chest behind us, we're going to get the tractor cannon. Now this is a perfect weapon for debuffing, and we're going to be using this a lot, even in endgame. Right now guys, when I close my inventory, I want you to listen carefully and look at how dark the screen goes. This is a public event, and I want to show you guys how to do all of these.
Of a fallen mining crew looking for a spot to set up shop.
So not only by the noise and the absolute decrease in brightness on your screen, do you know, there's also something that pops up on the side, some text saying what the public event is. So you can see it saying event incoming optional, and then it says Glimmer Extraction. So this public event we're doing here is the Glimmer Extraction. And like I said, my plan is to show you guys how to do every single one. How you make this heroic, you want to shoot this little drone on the side of the extraction. You'll see me shooting it here. You want to destroy this every single time there's an extractor down. They do take a few shots, so give it your all, break them, and then carry on deleting the rest of the ads. You're going to have to do this 3 times, one for each ship that lands. Upon completing all 3 ships, you'll see the last one you're at, the drone will drop, and it will become a defensive circle like earlier, where you have to stand in it and the percentage has to go up. I'm going to let the whole of this public event play out just so you can see how to do this one heroic. If you aren't too bothered about knowing how to do the public events, by all means skip through, there'll be timestamps at the bottom. As you guys can see here, as we complete this public event, we get a chest, we get 12,500 glimmer, and we get a blue weapon. I'll be honest, I advise doing every public event you see. That is a big amount of glimmer to start off. Considering we're at the start of the game, 12,500 is a good chunk. And there is the potential to get legendaries. Whether you did the public event or not, the next thing we're going to be doing is the cold boot mission. So if this public event isn't here for you, or you didn't have one to do, head straight to the cold boot mission and continue with that. If you did do the public event, go to that mission after you've done it. So upon completing the cold boot mission, we're going to return to the camp. Shaw isn't going to be there, but he's going to have left us a little surprise. You're going to open that chest. You're going to get your first Sparrow if you didn't have any of the pre-order bonuses. This is essentially going to be the vehicle that you use to get around when you're on planets. Once picking up our Sparrow, we're then going to be told to complete the mission Vendetta. Same as all the others, go and walk through and complete this mission. Nothing too special here, and then we'll catch up after the mission. So upon completing this mission, you're going to be asked to return to Han. So return to the camp, he's going to reward you with a ship, you're going to get that. And then with that ship, he's going to ask you to head to the tower and meet Commander Zavala. So you're going to then open up your director and head to the tower. When you look in the tower, you're going to have a mission called Advent. Click on that, load and launch the mission, and then complete through that. It's not really a mission, to be honest with you, it's more of an introduction, so don't expect anything too fancy here. Just wanted to quickly point out, as you're doing this Advent mission, you're going to meet somebody called Ikora Ray. She's going to be the one that helps you develop all your abilities. Now, if you remember when I said we got 12,500 glimmer from doing the public event, this is why we want a main source of glimmer. Because we're starting off fresh, we want to start unlocking all these abilities. Some of these are variations, some of these additions. There's a lot of different things here that you need to read into and figure out which ones you like the sound of the most. Once you've read through them and decided which one you want, prioritize buying that one before the others. Obviously, at some point you're going to have unlocked them all, but to begin with, try and find out which ones really appeal to you and go for them ones. Or if you don't care about the ones that you want, you can watch videos which tell you the best ones to buy and prioritize. For now, just go for your personal preference and enjoy the game how you want to enjoy it. Just wanted to quickly say what you should prioritize is another aspect and other fragments. So the aspects that you are buying are going to affect the amount of fragments that you can have. So most of the arc aspects that I'm buying give me 2 fragment slots. You will always have at least 4 fragment slots. At least. So you can buy 4 fragments all in all. Keep in mind the glimmer cost. Things are going to be cheaper. However, having an extra aspect is going to make a huge difference compared to changing your grenade. So at this point, upon completing the mission, you're going to be thrown out into orbit. It's going to guide you to enter your first strike. So a strike is essentially a 3-man matchmaking activity. As long as it's not on higher difficulties later on, we'll get into this later. But the basic strikes, you'll be teamed up with another 2 people. Or if you're playing with friends, 3 of you can go in together. And you're going to essentially run for a mission with a boss at the end and get extra rewards for it being a strike.
Rest easier now, thanks to you.
Couldn't have done it without you, Shaw.
Just thought I'd quickly showcase what I'm doing here. So as you can see, when you end the strike, you can open up a menu. And when you open this menu up, it shows all your guardians. This is called Accommodations. And this is going to be very important to us leveling up something called our guardian rank later on. This is going to enable us to get mods, to do more build crafting. And it's going to give us a lot more access to a lot of different things that are going to help us later down the line. My advice when you finish a strike or any ritual activity, so that includes strikes, crucible and gambit, always accommodate other people because they could do it back to you and you need that bonus to bump your score up for your guardian rank later on. So at this point you're going to complete the strike, you're going to be asked to return to Commander Zavala. Return to Zavala, he's going to update the quest for you and he's going to ask you to reach Guardian rank 2. You should already have done the requirement for this, so it's just the case of unlocking it and then go into this tree to advance your Guardian rank. At this point, we're going to unlock Ghost mods. This is going to be massively helpful for us for leveling up because it's going to allow us to get more XP and unlock more things. For those of you who have the season unlocked, this will allow you to level up your season pass much quicker, as you'll be getting more XP through the Ghost. We're not going to be able to level it up just yet because we don't have too much stuff to do that, but when we can, we will definitely be putting the Ghost mods on ASAP. After speaking with Zavala, you're going to be told to go to Ikora. I just wanted to quickly point out you're going to start getting a lot of quests and you're going to get a lot of pop-ups. The pop-ups are going to be dungeon keys, probably. Just wanted to explain what these were. So dungeons are basically a 3-man activity that is in the game, and you have to pay for some of them through DLCs. Some of them have individual keys, some of them you can buy on an annual pass, but most of the ones that are out now you can't buy the annual passes for because that year's already passed through. So you're going to be able to buy dungeon keys that unlock 2 dungeons each. The Witch Queen dungeon key will unlock Duality and Spire of the Watcher, and the Lightfall dungeon key will unlock Ghost of the Deep and Warlord's Ruin. Just wanted to point out the dungeons aren't a must-have, you don't need them, but they do add that extra little bit to the game. The 2 activities are quite fun, but it is just 2 activities, that is what you're paying for. But I think that's going to be it for this video, guys, so thank you very much for watching. Like I said, we're going to continue to follow that quest, the Spark of Hope. The only other thing that you might want to do is follow Cade's timeline quest. If you want to go and complete that to get the Monte Carlo exotic, feel free to do that. But we're going to get an exotic from our quest anyway, so it's entirely up to you. Like I say, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, if it helped, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Share it with anybody that you know new to the game. And again, thanks for watching.